Welcome to week 3. My name is Brian Tucker, and this is Micah Jelinek, and we work here at Moody Theological Seminary. I teach in New Testament and theology areas, and Micah works in the library. So we're going to be discussing annotations. In your first section of your Pathfinder, you're asked to annotate the introductory resources. And so I thought we would just mention some traditional and non-traditional ways in which you would want to annotate those sources. So it says cite up to 5 reference works and provide authoritative content on your topic. Select books published by scholarly presses published in the last 10 years and annotate each citation. So how are you going to annotate when you don't have much time? So that's what we're going to talk about first. So a couple different opportunities for you. One is to look at New Testament abstracts if you're working with a topic that's dealing with New Testament. There's also one that's very similar for Old Testament, and these are available in print in the library, seminary library, and also is available online through EBSCO through your databases that you can log in to access. A couple other resources that are quite helpful for locating these citations. One would be Biblical Theology Bulletin. Biblical Theology Bulletin writes a significant number of book reviews in each issue and deals with book reviews from the perspective of an informed pastor, and so you can find those quite helpful. And then from a more specifically evangelical perspective, that probably doesn't show up, you can see the Journal of Evangelical Theological Society, which has extensive amount of book reviews. So book reviews would be one way that you can help to quickly annotate without having to read the entire contents of a book. Second would be to use bookreviews.org, which is published by Society of Biblical Literature, and they'll be able to help you orient yourself quickly to the contents, and then you can summarize in a couple of sentences the key material there. So those are two non-traditional ways for you to help, but what do you do when you actually come to a book? And so, Michael, so if I were to say, how can I quickly annotate a book without having to read the entire book, what would you suggest?
Well, if you're reading a book and you're trying to interact with the book, say like Ed Stetzer's book on planting churches in the postmodern era, probably one of the quickest ways to learn about the book and really get an idea of its content is to go ahead and take a look at the table of contents. And while you're kind of scanning through the table of contents, look for kind of some of the key themes, some of the key things that the author's looking to talk about. And what I'll do, if I'm in a hurry and I just don't have a lot of time, I'll read through the introduction. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll try to skim through the chapters, but I'll make sure that I highlight in my mind just the conclusions to each of the chapters, so that way I kind of have an idea of what the author is driving toward. Another helpful thing to do is just to flip to the back of the book and take a look at the endnotes or the bibliography. Usually, if it's endnotes, he'll even provide some maybe description of other works that'll be helpful to you, and really get. Sometimes the endnotes can be helpful in just really expanding your understanding of the topic. So. Those are just a couple quick ways to really take a look at the content and the material of a book without reading all 400 pages of it.
Right. On the Pathfinder, they're also potentially would be using essays from a dictionary or a handbook. Do they need to read the entire dictionary or handbook to be able to annotate this? How would you suggest they go about annotating for that?
Well, I suppose you could read the entire book, but you don't want to read 800 pages. So the best way to do that is just to take your specific article that you're looking at, your specific essay, and say if you're looking at hermeneutics, read through your essay and make sure you're noting some of the key people that the author is interacting with, some of the key topics or the subject matter. And basically, you're just reviewing that specific entry. You're not reviewing, how things are laid out as a whole or anything like that. You're just reviewing the specific entry. And then finally, as with all things, just interact with the bibliography. See what they're interacting with, and maybe lift from that some sources that you don't already have.
Okay, great. Well, so there you have it. Should give you some ideas to be able to annotate the first part of your Pathfinder better, and use those same tools as you go forward in annotating other parts of your Pathfinder. A couple other things, oftentimes professors have blogs, and you'll find book reviews there. That can also be another non-traditional manner in which you can access content of books in a quick way. Google Scholar or Google Books also provides a way for you to scan books and to be able to orient yourself, especially if you don't have access to a library. So there are some creative ways that you can annotate these books, but remember, you're trying to help a person that's going to look at your topic to get the key works in that area, and so annotating these books will be very important, and also make sure that you're including the call numbers in the library where they can locate those.